Welcome back to Flight Sim with Rude Man, and we are in Portland, PDX, and we are going to take a trip. I'm thinking of taking a trip from West Coast to East Coast, and we're going from northwest to northeast. So I'm gonna head out from Portland, and my destination is going to be a big circle, I think. So I'm going to go from Portland to, say, maybe New York, and then from New York down to Florida, and then from Florida over to California, and from California back up to Portland. So it's going to be a big circle of the United States. Now, this particular plane will travel about just shy of 1,000 miles. That's its distance. And so I'm looking about 900 miles. So I'm going to fly this trip in 900 mile or so jumps. And so the first one is a little less than 900 because I don't want to just go 900 and then boom, drop it on the ground. I'm going to go to some place. So from here, we're going to start with Portland to Helena, Montana. Now, my first choice was Bismarck, North Dakota, but Bismarck is just out of my range. It's almost 1,100 miles, so it was just out of my range. So I backed up, and I'm going to go to Helena, Montana. From Helena, Montana, we'll again figure out how many miles 900 is. If I can make it to New York, I will. If not, maybe I'll stop in Chicago, maybe DC. I'm not entirely sure, but that's the second leg. We're worried about the first leg. So let's get in and start this thing up and get started. We are looking at today's weather, and as you can see, it's kind of cloudy, but there are blue skies poking through and sunshine. And this is exactly the weather we've had all day here on the coast as well. So this is accurate weather. It's cold, but it's accurate weather. So let's get our ship started, and I'm not going to do any fancy flight plans. I'm just going to fly direct. I'm going to put in Portland. I'm going to put in Helena, Montana, and we're just going to fly straight through. When we get there, I'll manually land, and we'll just have fun. So, all right. Sorry. I'm messing with my mic here. Okay, so we're going to get started here. Let's go to our startup. Let's turn the starter on. Turn the battery on. We're gonna start it, so we're gonna have a little extra fuel here. So let's pop up there and do that. We're gonna turn the standby alt power on because we don't have any external power here. Put that to normal. Turn on the avionics and hit this. Oh, we can't do this yet because we don't have any fuel. We'll turn the fuel on, pop back down there and hit the starter. And let's see if we can get a little engine to this thing, a little power to this propeller. All right, so we have no passengers, we have no cargo, and let me just do. We need to get some lights on because I started the engine. Let's do left landing, taxi lights, the beacon definitely. Turn our. We don't have passengers, no smoking, no seat belts. We don't need the cabin lights on. So that's all we need for that. We do need to make sure we've got fuel. So I'm gonna fill the tank up. We don't have any, as I said, we don't have any passengers. Total max takeoff weight is we've got 77 out of 88, so we should be okay. All right, put that away. Let's go to our flight plan. And actually not, we're going to do a direct flight. That's this one right here. And we're going to put in, let's see, I think it's KHLN. Uh-oh, that didn't work. Sorry. What happened? Oh, I didn't turn my keyboard on. There we go. KHLN. Helena, Montana. That's what we got. Helena Regional. Okay, and then let's turn the keyboard off. We're going to enter that, and we're going to activate it. And that's all I need to do. But the next thing I need to do, though, is I do need to set an altitude. So we're going to do that. Okay, so initial altitude, I think, is going to be not that. Let's do an initial altitude of 10,000. That seems a little high. Let's make an initial of 6. All right, 6,000. We'll do that. Okay, let's go take a look. Actually, all right, I don't think I need to push back. I think I'll be fine. I think I got enough room. Hang on, I'm having trouble with sound. It keeps cutting out. Just a sec. Be right back. All right, let's see how this goes. A little better. Okay, so let's get out of here. I think that's all I need to do. I'm going to take the brake off. Get around this guy. Hey, no problem. And I think our air strip is over there. We're taking off on 10L, which is along the river. I think this is the right way. I've got to get across that other runway there because we're not on 21. And I'm wondering if uh-oh. I think I missed my turn. I think I did. I need to get... I should have stayed on the left side there. No, this is it. 10L. This is it. Oh boy. This is not the best start, is it? All right, we don't even need a third of this runway, but let's just get it lined up. All right, I'm gonna stop it here, drop the throttle back. We're gonna go inside and we're just gonna do a quick look here at things. Make sure everything is okay. Idle up. Flaps. I don't think I need any flaps, but let's check. Oh, yeah, I need to set the trim. Let's set this. Okay. All right, that's okay. Let's see what we got. Oh, let's put that down. We don't need to boost anymore. Fuel boost. We don't need the starter anymore. We already have lights on, so let's just take off. I don't know what the wind is doing. I didn't check. I don't see a windsock. There's a windsock. There's very little wind, looks like, which is good. Okay, we don't have to worry about landing gear because it doesn't go up, but I need to drop a little bit on the throttle because I don't want to ruin the engine. My RPMs were a little high. So we're going to head out this way, but I need to change because I'm on local 1. I need to be on GPS. So let's change our CDI. That. All right. Let's see if we can turn on. And we're going to climb. Take a look at our weather here. There's the airport behind us. Looks awful pretty from up above. I wish they'd fix that. It looks like the I-5 is going underwater. I don't like that, but that's the way it is. Okay, so we got some mountains to go over. So I do want to go in and make sure that we do get up to 8,000. I can't remember what I set. I think I had it set for 18,000 tops. But let's take it up to about 10,000. Okay, 10,000, and we're going to go climb a little bit. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to pull I'm going to pull these things out so I've got them on my other PC. All right, looking good. 4,000 feet and climbing. There is some water in some of the clouds. Some of them are nice and fluffy. Okay, so I think we're on the Washington side, I think. Are we? Yeah, I think we're on the Washington side. There's Portland, Troutdale over there. This is Washington State over here. That might be Vancouver below us. Although I thought Vancouver's more back over here, I think. So yeah, we got a little bit of rain clouds here. Eagle's Nest. Really? Eagle's Nest? Do they have Eagle's Nesting there? So there's still a little bit of white stuff on the ground. That's Mount Hood to the right there. And since I didn't set a route, I'm not entirely sure. You know, we're just going to be flying, as far as I know, we're flying straight as an arrow, straight as a crow flies to Montana. So I'm not quite sure. I did not set a course. So I didn't pick, you know, a low part of the Cascades. We're just going to fly it. If I have to climb to get across a mountain, I'm going to have to climb. I don't exactly know what kind of places we have below us here. I know the first place we're going to fly over kind of the Tri-Cities, which we've been to before. I could actually add that in. We could add things in, but I think I'm just going to play it by ear. Anyway, I've been flying a lot of commercial flights, and I decided that I want a more relaxing trip. These smaller planes are a lot easier to fly, and I wanted one big enough that I could travel cross country realistically and not be beaten the hell out of. Some of those small planes, I kind of equate it to my sports car. My little convertible sports car is not it's not a Cadillac. It's not built to be a cruising car. It's not necessarily the kind of car you want to get in and drive cross country, like a limousine, you know, like a Cadillac, where you could sit back in the lush, soft seats and just relax. The sports car is not built for that. It's built for taking corners and going fast speeds, and you know, it's rough riding, little booger. You know, it's like riding a motorcycle. If you ride a motorcycle for very long without stopping, by the time you get off, you're just exhausted and you're beat to hell. So this plane is not a huge plane, but it's a little bit more luxurious than some of the real small ones where your co-pilot's sitting on your lap. So we're on our way. We are at 9,400 feet. I did set the plan, what little there is in my mind, that 18, I think, is the tops I'm going to go. But I'm going to try to fly between 6,000 and 10,000, depending on the mountain range. Sky River Ranch in 4 miles. So it is a beautiful day for a fly, really. In the country I live in, oh, this is great. Nothing but clouds that way. Nothing but mountains this way. And literally it is. There's, like I said, this what you're looking at now is Washington. That's St. Helens there. You can tell because the top is blown off. I think that's Rainier over there. I'm not sure. But I think this one over here would be Mount Adams. I'll have to look it up. Need to look it up. Not sure. And then, of course, we had on the other side, which you can't see, Mount Hood, Mount Bachelor. There are mountains everywhere in the Cascades. They're all volcanoes. They call it the Ring of Fire. White little patches of snow. Yeah, so in real life, we lose an hour's sleep tonight in the United States. It is, March 10th? No, I'm a day off. It's March 11th, and 2023, and we are going to lose an hour's sleep because daylight savings time starts tonight. It actually starts tomorrow, but that's after midnight. I think they actually changed the clock at about 2 o'clock in the morning. All right, it's soup du jour time. I'm going to pull up a soda, and I'm going to relax and hopefully enjoy the flight. I think I'm going to pull up little nav map so that I can see where we're at and what we're doing. You've seen this before. A lot of people actually use little nav map for making their flight plans. And so this is what I'm getting out of that. If you look, I can set the map up so it follows my plane, which is what I'm doing here. And I didn't clear it. I was messing around this morning. I did not clear that, but it's okay. We're gonna fly beyond what little bit I did on it. But if we open it up, you can see that I can use this map. What the heck is all of that? I should have turned that off. Let's see if I can clear that. I don't know how. I don't know how to use this program. I need to learn how to use this program. So anyway, from this map, it shows me where I'm at, and it'll try to keep this plane centered. Well, it just did. It just jumped on us. It tries to keep our plane centered on the map, but I can now at least tell where I'm going to be flying. So we're kind of following the Columbia right now, and it looks like we're going to be going north a little bit, and we'll just keep an eye on that. bit more snow up here, at least in that valley that's going around. Okay, below us is Cascade Locks. We just passed it. So that's the river below us. I don't know why it's white. That's the river. There's Cascade Locks. There's a bridge that goes across there called the Bridge of the Gods. I don't like it. It's a grating. So if you were to get out of your car and look down, you can see through the grating that you're driving on. It's very disconcerting. It's a scary bridge to go on. So you're driving over steel, not cement or anything like that, and it's scary. It's scary, at least to me. So this is called the Columbia Gorge. Again, I don't know why it's showing the river white, because it isn't. It doesn't freeze over like that. I don't know what the deal is on that. As you can see ahead here, it's not over. So it just must be that they're drawing snow in an area where there's snow and they cover everything with it, which isn't accurate. But this is the Columbia Gorge. Very windy in the Columbia Gorge. If you were to come on now, we're going to be coming up to an area where there's a lot of recreational activity. And the recreational activity on the river is windsurfing. Lots and lots of windsurfers come here because it's always windy and the river's quite wide. So they've got nothing in their way. They can see, so there's no surprises coming at them. And it's always windy. They can always guarantee a decent ride. One of the reasons I wanted to do this is I've traveled a little bit throughout the United States, but most of the travel I've done has been on the southern part. I've been to California many times, as far as flying, I've been to Little Rock, Arkansas, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas. Let's see, I've been to Florida, Arkansas. I've flown into Arkansas a couple of times. I did make a flight into Montana once, into Missoula. I had a brother that lived in Helena, Montana. I used to go visit him in the summertime, and I would work in the wheat country up there, their wheat country. So I tell you what, I think I'm going to come down, and so we can see a little bit more scenery, kind of over the mountain tops here. We'll come back down. So let me get inside here, get to the autopilot. We're going to do, let's see, vertical speed, altitude. Let's just come down. Initially, I think I'll come down to 7,000 and we'll play it by ear. And then we're going to vertical speed and go down. Just gently. All right, there's a little bit of a dock there you see on the river. Now, something interesting about Portland, about Oregon. We have a major river coming through Washington and Oregon, and it's called the Columbia River. There are places on the Columbia River where it's over 5 miles wide. And as a matter of fact, the entrance into Oregon from the ocean, Oregon, Washington, there's a bridge that goes across between Oregon and Washington, and it's just shy of 5 miles. And the interesting thing is, every other major river that comes into a continent has a port. And because shipping comes in, and shipping brings a lot of stuff. Shipping will bring your automobiles from Japan. Shipping will bring logs from some other countries, bring grain into the country, food. Anything you can imagine comes in at a port of a major city to any continent. So, in almost every case, the port of the river is going to be the location that it comes into the continent. Because these are big ships, these are big carrier ships that come in, and they're full of whatever. They're full of cars, that kind of thing. They want to drop those off as soon as they can. They're here. All right, we're sending cars from Japan to the United States, and we want to drop them off as soon as we get to the States, turn around, head back, and get some more. Okay, so the port is almost always on the mouth of the major river, like the Mississippi. So, except the Columbia. Because Portland was the big city, somehow they managed to snag the port. And so they forced the big ships to come down the river all the way to Portland to deliver their goods. Now that means that rivers flow, and when rivers flow, land gets moved. And hopefully in most cases, as it is on the Columbia, it's sand. And so there are numerous sandbars in the river, and they're constantly moving. And sometimes, depending on weather and whatever, that means the depth changes. So they have to constantly watch the river and dredge it to make to make it deep enough for the ships to come in. Now, because the river is moving and it's so big and wide, as I said, the sand gets moved around and it causes sandbars under the water. And there has to be what they call a pilot to pilot these ships in, because it has to be somebody that knows the river, and they have to know where those bars are and maneuver around them and between them in some cases. And the local captain of the ship isn't going to know that. So they're required to pay for a pilot. They call them bar pilots. They're required to pay a substantial amount of money to bring their ship in. So they bring their ship in to Astoria, and from that point, actually not. They have to sit out on the ocean, and the bar pilots have to be taken out there on a small boat. The ship will drop a ladder down the side, and the bar pilot has to climb up onto the boat or the ship and pilot it in across the bar into the river and into Portland. And it's a very dangerous job. There's been several of these bar pilots that have been knocked off in bad weather trying to climb the side of a ship and drown. It does happen. They get paid a substantial amount of money. and it's a little union thing, and it's also a little good boy thing. You don't become a bar pilot unless you know somebody that's probably also a bar pilot. Anyway, it's pretty exciting. But it's kind of strange. Like I say, these ships have to come and they have to go all the way inland to Portland. Now, if you remember, I live on the mouth of the Columbia, and for me to drive to Portland it's 100 miles. So they have to take. Now that's driving. That's so. But the river doesn't go straight either. So they have to be piloted in to Portland to be able to dock up and drop their loads. It's kind of strange. It doesn't make any sense. But hey, that's what happened. Somebody had some clout way back when, and they said, look, we're putting the port in Portland instead of on the mouth of the Columbia. It should have been Astoria. They should have had a port in Astoria. And as a result of that, you've got Portland, that's a major city. It's not a huge city. When you compare it to other states, it's very small. But it is Oregon's major city. That would have been Astoria. But it's not. And I don't have a problem with that. Since I live here. God, that would be awful. I don't live in big cities. All right, where are we at? Okay, we're heading for a place called Piper Canyon. There it is right there, 5 miles away. Yeah, I'm not following the river anymore. As I said, I just set a direct route straight to Montana. But we're close to, where are we at? Goldendale, Washington. So we just passed over Sadis Pass, and we're flying over Goldendale. Right after Piper will be Goldendale, right there up ahead. So crossing across here would be Highway 97. And Highway 97 is going to go north into Washington. So Highway 97 is coming across here, be heading up north into Washington, and it passes through the Yakima Valley where I was born and raised. And we've flown there. If you're interested in checking that out, check out the video of the Yakima Valley trip. I started in the Tri-Cities, flew to the Yakima Valley, and landed in Yakima. If you look to the right, you will see, you have to look pretty sharply. Maybe you can't see them. This whole mountain range right here is almost solid wind turbines. I thought you might be able to see them here, but I don't. Yeah, you can, right there. There's some. Oh, you can see them. They're all up and down that mountain right there. You have to see it at an angle, I guess. All right, right here, you can see them where I'm pointing. And these mountains here are just chock full of those. And remember when I told you that it's real windy down on the river? Well, they're making use of that. Look at all these wind turbines up here. And most of this country up here is uninhabited. Although you can see it from the road and you can see it from the river. And you can see those big old things. But yeah, these go all the way up here into Tri-Cities area. There's Goldendale. So as we're coming into Goldendale, there's a state patrol office right there. Oh, there's a little airport. I didn't know there was a little airport there. There's a Dairy Queen right below us here and a McDonald's just beyond that. And usually we'll stop at one to go to the bathroom and one to give something to drink. Made this trip many times from Oregon to Washington because, as you know, I just mentioned my family was in the Yakima Valley, and so holidays, birthdays, family reunions, picnic time, visiting, bringing new children into the world and taking them to see grandparents, many trips. I'm surprised there's not snow up here. Usually it's a mountain pass. Look at that. A big old round field in the middle of nowhere. I saw the strangest thing yesterday. I put it on my Discord page. Anybody that's been to my Discord page has already seen it, because I'm recording this on the 11th, but it's probably not going to go up for a few days to maybe a week or so. But anyway, is the craziest thing. It's some farmer. He's in a tractor. He's pulling a hay baler. He puts the tractor in cruise control, I'm guessing, because he jumps out of the tractor and it's still moving and it's still baling. He runs to the baler. He tears his clothes off, so he's down to his underpanties. He climbs up on the baler and dives into the top of the baler. A minute later, this bale slowly comes out of the baler, and he's inside of it. His arms and legs are sticking out. And it drops him on the ground, and he stands up and starts running around like a crazy guy, screaming. It's just, I just have no words. It's just crazy. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Well, so far we're following the flight plan, and we're sticking to 7,000 feet. I could probably come down a little further. Yeah, see, look, you can see him again over there. All the wind turbines. If you look close enough. And we're traveling some miles here. I mean, it follows that whole hill area right there. All the way down the river. Nothing but wind turbines. Hey, and I got it right this time. I usually call them windmills. Hey, I'm just an old farmer. We had windmills. These are turbines. They produce electricity. Or so they say. And they should. It's pretty windy up here. There's an area back here. It's not here, but it's close by, and it's over on the other side of the river towards that mountains. Those mountains. It's called the Horse Heavens. Why? I don't know. Maybe they had wild horses running up there. It's hard to realize how many miles there are of mountainous areas, and well, they call Washington the evergreen state. It's almost all forest. At least the eastern side and the northern side. Central Oregon's all farm. There are hills, but there's an awful lot of farmland. It's going to be an interesting trip because obviously I know Oregon and Washington, but I don't know. I know a little bit of Idaho, a little bit of Montana, and from that point I know absolutely nothing of the United States. I haven't done a lot of traveling. I've never made a trip this long, so I'm going to have to watch the fuel. Let's see. I guess I could have done this from outside. Weights and balance. Okay, so yeah, we've used not quite 20% of the fuel, but I'm going to have to watch that. Look, it's the big valley. Look at all these. You can really see them now. They're really stretched out. That's quite a wide area. Now imagine this. I'm going to have to look this up. I wonder how much each one of those things cost. I don't know if you've seen one, but they're humongous. They're really big. The propellers are just huge. And they have to be on a tower, of course. You can even see them moving. Depending on the wind, and they can, they can change the speed of those things. They've got a transmission in them. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they might be able to be programmed so that they're not always on. I would guess that they wouldn't leave them running constant. Things wear out, things get hot. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. I'm just supposing that because I know that when you drive by them, sometimes some are moving very slow, others are moving a little bit faster. I don't know why. See, now these are looking a little bit slower than the ones over by the river, and these are coming in now off the river. I know they have to be maintained. I see sometimes when they're not running. But I know they have transmissions in them so they can change the speed. Amazing. I know they talk about oil rigs being a sight in eyesore. And the funny thing about an oil rig, most people never see one because they're offshore. Unless you have binoculars for eyes, you normally can't see an oil rig. But you can certainly see these. And to me, these are an eyesore. Plus the fact that birds fly through them and get killed. Oh, that's terrible. But it happens. But it depends on your perspective. If you are somebody that's against... now, look, it looks like they're... What is that? Oh, it looks like they're... Is that one that they haven't put up yet? Is that what those are? I can't tell. They look like airplanes down there. Wow. I'd have to get down a little further and see if I could see what those things are. No, no. I guess we're just looking at them from an angle. That's weird. It's like you can see the shadow, but you can't see the... Okay, they look like they're ones being put up because the shadow's right underneath them. So they're probably ones they're still building. Anyway, if you're a proponent for wind or solar and you're against oil, obviously the oil's going to be an eyesore. They don't mention anything about the wind turbines, but if you think about it, now I guess the thing is there's nobody out here. There may be a farmer or two that live out this way or farm out this way, but the thing of it is, as you're driving by, you see them, so you can look at them as being, oh my, look at all those. That's pretty cool, or you can say, oh my God, what an eyesore. I mean, they're dotting the whole countryside. Yeah, it depends on your attitude, I guess, towards certain things. I know they're very expensive to put up, and I know they don't put out a lot of electricity. They put out some, obviously, but they don't put out enough that you can stop the power coming from the dams and the coal plants and things like that. Now, we don't have coal plants around here. Most of our electricity comes from damming the rivers. Mercer Ranch. Mercer Ranch has its own airfield. Well, let's see, where are we at now? The map says we're at Mercer Ranch. There's a winery up ahead that has its own airfield. We're going to be passing right over it, or somewhat over it. Let's see. I don't think it's clear over there. I think it's this one here. That's a winery down there. This is just a ranch. And it looks like there's quite a bit of round fields out here. Look at that. That's amazing. Wow. Look at all those round fields as far as you can see. I wonder what's growing on that one. Looks like trees on it right there. What's that? It could be. Could be they're growing... Yeah, but wait a minute. How do they get it round like that? Usually it's round like that because the sprinkler system is round. Like down here you see a sprinkler system. And there's a sprinkler system there. But are there trees? Does the sprinkler system go over the trees? That's kind of weird. How tall is that sprinkler system? That doesn't look realistic. I don't know what that's all about. I was going to say at first that maybe they're growing Christmas trees and they're not as big as they look. Strange, very strange. Wow, look at all those round fields. My goodness. And here's the thing, look at those. Those are actually pretty good sized fields. Because look at the hill around it. Those things are huge. Those fields are big. I was going to look in the settings and see, because they talked at one point. We did get a big update here a few weeks ago, and they were talking about obviously adding some things to New Zealand, which they did. And I already did a flight in New Zealand. They were talking about the fact that if you look, the plane does show you some turbulence. And a lot of people didn't like that. And so they were talking about putting a switch in where you could say, yes, I want turbulence, no, I don't. And I don't know if they did. I think the default would be the turbulence. All right, there's Columbia Crest Winery. It's such a big winery, they need to have an airport. And these fields are not just right here. They go clear over there. My goodness. That's a lot of fields. A lot of farming. It's funny. Washington, Oregon, everybody has a winery now. It used to be it was a lot of fruit, and they tore all the fruit trees out because they couldn't compete with Japan and some other countries that were growing fruit and shipping them over here. And so they started tearing all the trees out, putting wineries in. God, how many wineries do you need? A whole lot of wine being drunk. Yeah. A lot of wine. So I wonder what these fields are. I'm just curious, they can't be. I've never seen a grapevines. I've never seen grapevines in a round shape, but maybe. I don't know. It looks like there's round fields around the airport, but then up above the airport there's rectangular shaped fields. I would guess that's the winery, the grapevines. What do you think? I've never seen round grapevines. So I'm guessing these are the grapevines here, this area right here. There's the winery itself, I'm guessing. And the runway, where is the runway? That's it right there, I guess. Very small one, but it looks like it's asphalt. Or tarmac, if you will. Man, one of these days I might have to drive over here and check this out and find out what they're growing. They're growing a lot of it, whatever it is. I had no idea. I knew that in Washington State, in central Washington State, the wheat country, it's as far as you can see, it's farmland. I had no idea this was down here. All right, so I'll tell you what, we got a ways to go here. I'm going to go and put on a teapot, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, I am back. Hey, look, we're still in farmland. Right, where are we? What highway is that? I-82. I-82 US 395. Interesting. Okay, I-82 is heading north. We got Hermiston Municipal south of us. And there's a Cherokee airplane flying to the left of me. We can't see it physically, but it's probably, oh, he's flying at 2,900 feet. So yeah, we're above him. All right, so this freeway that we're looking at here goes up into the Tri-Cities. So the Tri-Cities is up in here. That's going to be Pasco, Kennewick, and Richland. The Tri-Cities, that's where Hanford is at, the nuclear plant. Although I think the only thing they do there now is just storage. They store nuclear waste. That is a scary thing. It is a scary thing that you produce power, but the waste is almost forever. I mean, it is kind of scary. And if you look, there's more over here. There's another ridge. Well, every time I change the camera, Okay, look over here. There's another ridge of those that goes that way and probably back that way. A lot of wind in this area. Yeah, that Cherokee's on a collision course for us, but it's down a little bit lower. Like I said, it's about 3,000 feet. I'm at 7. It's showing up on my map, little nav map. It's not another person. It's an AI. One of these days, when I get really good at what I'm doing, if I ever do, I'll start flying with live traffic, which means that I'll be flying with anybody else that's like me flying around in the area. It might be kind of fun to do, but it's scary for me. I'm a hermit. Woodfield. That plane should be right in over here, but I can't see it. Yeah, I don't see it. Okay, it's actually behind us now. So it would be over in here somewhere. I was hoping that we would be close enough to see it. So yeah, it's right behind me here. Still coming towards us though. If I look at the map, it's gonna come right across behind us if it stays to its course. Just a little excitement. Where are you? Little plane, where are you? I'll have to look that up at Cherokee. What was the number? Yeah, it should be right behind us here. Cherokee. I can't see it. According to the map, it's right here, right behind us. It's just crossing my trail. But I don't see it. Yeah, it should be right over here. But I don't see it. I see us though. There's me and my co-pilot. Hey, hello. I'm up above you. Look up, look up. Hey, we're crossing the river. Sweet. There's an Airbus going to cross our path too, but he's flying at 31,000 feet. I don't think we'll see him. We might see his contrails. Compressor station number 8. What the hell does that mean? Look at, there's Wallula. Look at all the farmland. My goodness. Look at the straight lines of wind turbines. Oh, that must be what the compressor station is. This must have to be something to do with the wind turbines. They're compressing it into grape juice or something. I don't know. I just made that up. I do that sometimes when I'm talking to myself, just make stuff up. Oh, ho, ho, ho. I'm worried about my channel. I don't know why. I just do this for fun, but I did a live stream yesterday, and it was just me and Andy, one of my moderators. Just the two of us sitting there for an hour. Finally, I said, "Oh, hell with it. I'm going to take a nap." And I told Andy, I said, "You're going to be okay if I stop it after an hour?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm fine." So yeah, not really worth my time to live stream if I'm only going to get one person. Well, there were two people because I had my live stream running on a separate computer, so that was me twice. So there were three of us, me, and Andy. And I asked Andy if he got a notification. He said he didn't remember, but he didn't think so. So I don't know. Maybe it's YouTube. But I always imagined when YouTube started up, I thought to myself that this isn't going to last. Something else is going to come along. They're going to evolve into something else. And that's pretty much what's going on. If you look at, and I said this the other day too, but of course nobody saw it. But it's all relative. If you're watching somebody that's got 5 or 6 million subscribers, and then you watch them, do something, and they get 15,000 views. Okay, so 15,000 to me, I'd fall over with a heart attack if I got 15,000 views on a video. I used to be happy with 200 and 300. I used to get 200, 300, 400 on a video, but they get 15,000. But wait a minute, they have 5 million subscribers. 15,000 is a very small percentage of 5 million. So it's not just the little channels like mine that aren't getting the views anymore. Even the big ones don't. People are doing other things now. They're watching other things. So, eventually it's all going to be something else. There'll be some other form of entertainment. A lot of people do TikTok. They're used to those 30-second or 60-second or 90-second views. To me, I couldn't stand doing that. I just couldn't do them. I mean, I'm supposed to be. YouTube is pushing these shorts, even on YouTube. I've never done a short. I wouldn't know what I'd do it on. Who wants to watch 30 seconds of a game? I don't know. Galt's Gulch. That is interesting. Who's Galt and what's he gulching? This pretty country. I haven't been over here. Like I say, normally I would be maybe following the river up to the Tri-Cities and in Yakima. Now that's not how you go, actually. If you remember that little town called Goldendale, that drops down off the mountain into Toppenish and Yakima. So coming all the way we just did, and then up to the Tri-Cities is the long haul. Because even when you get to Tri-Cities, you still got an hour to go to get to the Yakima Valley. Wow, that looks like aliens made a drawing of a spaceship or something down there. Martin who? Little Cindy who? Little Cindy who? Well. Anybody tired of farmland yet? I'm not. I never get tired of farmland. That's the breadbasket. That's what fills the grocery stores. And my tummy. But we're out of the crop circles. Boy, that was a lot of them, I tell you. A lot of land in circular form. So what is this area? That's the airstrip, I think. And there's another little airstrip and another one over there. But what's the town? Martin. I've never heard of Martin, Washington. Those are interesting markings down there on that field. I wonder if that's wheat that somebody is harvesting, and we're seeing the harvest marks as they go in a circle around the field. I don't know. A lot of stuff I don't know. Now that looks like a pretty good sized airfield. They've got a couple of runways there, it looks like. Where are we? Oh, we're at Walla Walla. Walla Walla. This is Walla Walla. So there's a state prison down here. Walla Walla State Prison. My wife's cousin used to be a guard there. I don't know if he still is, but... And there's a little college here. A lot of people went to college at this little... Garrett. There's Garrett right there. There's Walla Walla here. I don't know what Garrett is. Maybe it's a little suburb of Walla Walla. It's more crop circles. Let me check my fuel again. Might have to land and get fuel somewhere. Well, we're still doing good. We've used about a quarter of a tank. Walla Walla Regional. So it is a little bit bigger airfield. And it looks like we're heading up into some more mountains. Made the mistake yesterday of starting up. Yeah, see those fields? They look like somebody's been working them. I mean, all those tracks, that's a combine, I'll bet. Because that looks like stubble after a harvest. Plus, it's that time of year. I don't know how accurate these maps are. I don't know how often they change them. Touché Valley. Good old Walla Walla. You know what Walla Walla's famous for? Walla Walla sweet onions. I don't know if anybody's had Walla Walla sweet onions. Walla Walla onions, they're about the size of a grapefruit. They're huge, and they're very sweet onions. Very flavorful. They're not real strong like some of the onions are. And I can remember eating Walla Walla onions like an apple. Yeah, I know a lot of people are going, ugh. People used to come in and to my office, and they'd come up to my area, and they would. Oh, I have to apologize. I just had lunch, and we had a lot of onions and garlic. And I would look at them, and I'd say, oh, don't worry about it. I know what onions and garlic smell like. It's people that have something on their breath that I can't tell what it is that bother me. They always just laugh and give me a strange look. But it's true. Some people have some pretty nasty breath, especially if they're cigarette smokers or, well, we won't get into it because it might involve rotten teeth and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, I know what onions smell like. That doesn't bother me. Except for to maybe make me hungry and jealous that I didn't have a hamburger or whatever it was. Maybe a big steak. Of course, cooked onions are not the same. If you get a fresh onion on a hamburger, that's one thing. But smothered in cooked onions, that's different. Pan-fried onions. Sautéed, that was the word, sautéed onions. I knew there was a word I was looking for. I might have to climb back up to 10,000 here. Let me get level with the plane here and see what we're looking at. Yeah, I might come up. I better come up. Let's pop it up. $10,000. We're going to do vertical speed and go up. We got a little bit of space. We can come up slowly, I guess. It's more snowy area here. Let me check where we at. We're not. Are we getting close to Idaho? Now, see, this is a flight map. It doesn't really give me borders of states per se, but I can look at some of the towns and tell you where I'm at, depending on stuff. Where are we? I can tell you when we're looking at Canada because the airports turn from K, like PDX is Portland K, the letter K, and then in Canada they're letter C. So their airports would be CAVZ or something like that. But I might be getting close to the Idaho border. Yeah, I'm getting close to the Idaho border. It's kind of hard to tell too from this map because Idaho is shaped kind of weird. It's very narrow at the top and kind of wide at the bottom. And we're a little bit north, which means we're going to come over. It's going to be a short trip between Oregon and Montana because of that. And I can see Missoula on the map. So we must be getting pretty close to the Idaho border. Let's see. Yeah, we are because here, I'll show you. Again, the map doesn't do a very good job of showing us where the border is. I could assume that this line right here is the border. I could assume that, but I don't know if that's the case. But I do know that if you go up to Spokane here, there's Spokane, that's Washington, and there's Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene is Idaho. So you just cross the border from Spokane and you're in Idaho, Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene is beautiful, beautiful area. And then we've got Missoula, Montana over here. So Idaho, the very top of Idaho is very narrow and then it widens out. But there's Missoula right there. And then from there, we have St. Helens here, and that's our destination, St. Helens. And then from there, we're going to be heading east, and I don't know how far I can go. I'll have to measure it. There's a way to do it with this program. I can click on an airport, and I can right click on it and say I want to know the distance to the next thing I point at, and then I can point at something else and tell me how many miles it is. But I'm thinking I can at least get into the Chicago area on the next leg, because here we're looking at Chicago area right in here, Illinois, right in here by the grand end of, I think, Lake Superior. And then from there we'll go over to New York. Better watch out, might hit a mountain when I'm taking around. Do I have to come up some more? I might be okay. I might be, or I might have to come up to 12,000. Did we get up to 10? Yeah, we're up to 10. I might come up. There's no sense of taking a risk. Let's pop up another 200 feet. So there's 1,200. Vertical speed up. All right. Be safe. Put on the safe side. There's no wind turbines up here. I'll tell you that. Gotta come up with a name for this trip. Around the USA in 40 days. I don't know how many legs it's going to take. It's going to take at least 3 to get to New York. So East Coast to West Coast, I should be able to do it in 3 trips. 3 legs. I think. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't measure it out. I just decided a destination. We're in the mountains. I don't know what my first clue was, but it's awful cold up here. You know what? I should have probably had. Yeah, I should have probably at this put on some heat. What do we got here? Wing light. Stall heat on, PS heat, low AS aware, and I don't know, some of these I can't change, so this is fluid control. There's the air conditioning down there. Air conditioning. Left, right, AFT. Are you comfortable back there? I don't know. Oh well, I won't worry about it. I don't have it turned on anyway. You can turn the ice on the wings on and off. So what you can do is you can turn it on and have it reality where you're going to ice up. And you can turn it on where it shows that it's iced up, but in reality it's not. So you don't have to worry about crashing and burning and that kind of thing. And at this point, I wasn't into that kind of reality yet. Learn to fly planes first. Learn to plan flight plans and how to land on instruments, how to land without instruments, all that kind of stuff. So it looks like I'm probably well over the danger area. So I can probably come down again now. Let's drop it down to 8,000 to start with. Well, there's 9. All right, we can do that. Let us do it slow, in case I have to change my mind. Because we're still got some hills to go here, mountains, low range. And I'm pretty sure I'm in Idaho. No, I'm not. I'm still in Washington. I'm still in Washington. Right above me, we are getting close to the border, because right above me, to the northeast, is Lewiston, Idaho. Now that's going to be on the Snake River, I think. If I remember right, that's where my oldest daughter was born, Lewiston, Idaho. I used to live in this area. There's a little town directly across from Lewiston, Idaho, called Pomeroy. And I used to be the agriculture specialist, loan specialist there. So north of us, there's a lot of farm country. There's a little county called Garfield County, and there's a town in Garfield County called Pomeroy. And that town of Pomeroy is the only town in the county. So it's the county seat. The whole rest of the county is all farmland, completely. It's a wonderful place to live. It was a little town of about 900 to 1,000 people. It was 900 when I was there, maybe close to 1,000. But it was a very nice little town. It had a little 9-hole golf course. It had a hospital. It had a little movie theater. It had a bowling alley. I mean, it was just a really nice little town. I used to run the ambulance there, or run on the ambulance there. So it is actually northwest of Lewiston. So this is Lewiston coming up over here. And Pomeroy was northwest. So it was way up in here. You had to go through this pass here, which is called Alpawa Pass. Made many trips down to Lewiston because they had a little bigger hospital than we did. And then a lot of times we'd have to go to Lewiston and then up to Spokane. There's a college up above Lewiston in a town called, what was it? Moscow, Idaho. How can I not remember Moscow? Yep, so we're getting ready to cross the river. Once we cross this river here, we'll be in Idaho. Well, I didn't realize they still got snow up here. Right, it's not this river. I think the river's up here, one of these gorges. I got a little bit of wind pushing me from the left. You can feel the turbulence a little bit. We're back down to 8,000. Check the barometer. Let's see where we're at here. Barometer. Yeah, it wasn't too far off. 20 feet. Changed me about 10 to 20 feet is all. Now, it doesn't make any difference up here, but if I was landing, you need to make sure your barometer is right for the area that you're at, because it could make the difference of 30 or 40 feet on a landing. That could make a difference in how good a landing you get. You might hit a little bit too hard, or harder than you thought you might want to. Okay, so interesting thing about Lewiston, Idaho, when you cross the river, on one side of the river is a town called Clarkston, Washington, and on the other side of the bridge is Lewiston, Idaho. So the bridge goes across the border in between Washington and Idaho, and there's two towns that close together. The only thing between them is a river and a bridge. Well, the bridge isn't between them. The bridge bridges them, right? Anyway. So yeah, Lewiston would be over here. Clarkston, Lewiston, Clarkston. More wheat country. Kind of a green area, isn't it? That's almost turquoise down below us there. That green, kind of a bluish green. Don't know what causes that. Wow, we got some cloudy areas around us, and that cloud right there has some rain in it. Redbird what? Redbird, Idaho, I guess. Redbird is, why would you name an airstrip Redbird? Quite an activity of ANI airplanes in this area. There's a Skyhawk at 4,700 feet just to the north of me. I don't see it, but it's a little bit away from me. probably open this area here. I want to see another plane. I don't really want to see it up close, but I want to see another plane. That'd be kind of cool. I'm not up here all by myself. Little town called Cottondale below us. Not to be confused with Cottontail. Slick Poo. Are you kidding? Slick Poo? MX Park? Slick Poo. What the hell? Sounds like a crossbreed dog. A Shih Tzu. A cockapoo. We had a cockapoo. I was going to say a cockroach and a poodle. Oh, God. Have I been up in the air that long? Anyway, it's a cross between a Cocker Spaniel and a poodle. It was a nice little dog. Didn't shed. Very quiet, loving dog. We actually had two of them. Carol had one when we first met, and it got ran over by a car out in the country, and of course felt bad. And then so later on, we got another one. Funny thing, they were the same. They were both little black dogs, and this one was called Blackie. I've told this story before. We got it for the kids. It was somebody we knew. They were moving and they couldn't take the dog. And the dog was, I don't know, 7, 8 months old, less than a year. And the kids, their kids had already named it Blackie. And our kids knew them, so they already knew the dog as Blackie. So we didn't change the name. We're going to change the name to protect the innocent, we didn't do it. Well, I'll be happy to get out of this snowy area here. It just feels cold, and it really does, because I opened up my window because the computers were heating up the room, and I can feel the cold air coming in, and it's kind of chilly. Craigmont. All right, so let's see. We're at 8. I'm gonna come down so we can see a little bit more. All right, let's drop down a little bit. There's another Cherokee flying around out here. What altitude is he? Craigmont, there used to be a soda company called Craigmont, and I can't remember if it was Safeway. It was one of the grocery chains had a soda called Craigmont Coca-Cola, or Craigmont Coke, Craigmont Root Beer, Craigmont Citrus, whatever they called it. I don't remember seeing those anymore. Then they got Shasta brand. I think Safeway had Shasta. I don't remember who had Craigmart. I just don't remember unless it was Thriftway. We don't have some of the stores that you hear about. Like we don't have Kruger's. Although wait a minute, we do have Kruger's because Kruger's bought Fred Meyer's, I think. Nez Perce, that's an Indian tribe, the Nez Perce. I need to check my fuel again. I think we're okay because we're almost into Montana. Maybe I could have gone farther than this. I probably could have. I've got 66. I haven't even used half the fuel. I was worried about getting to North Dakota. I wanted to fly to North Dakota, but then thinking about it, that would have put me. I don't know what I'm at now. Let me check. I'm about 2 hours now. That would have put me well over 3 hours. I think I'll be better off in Helena because I'll be about 2.5 hours. I mean, it's not 2 hours yet. It's about an hour and maybe 45 minutes into this flight. It depends. I had the sound program running a little bit before I actually started recording. I always let my sound run for a while, and the video I turn on at about the same time, let it run for a while, with no noise in the room. I'll start it up and I'll either close my mouth and hold my breath for 5 minutes, or I'll actually leave the room. And that way, when I go to edit the video, I've got a patch of sound that I can highlight and use that as my base sound and cut out any, crazy sounds out of that, and then use that for my base sound line. Like if you've got a hum of something, like in the summertime, let's say there's a fan running. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll run the sound with nothing but that fan in the room. I'll leave the room, nothing else making any noise. Then I can use that patch of sound and say, okay, cut this sound out of the video or out of the sound waves, and it cuts the sound of the fan out. So I usually run my sound for a little while before I actually start recording. The computers themselves make sound. My other microphone I had set so it didn't pick up anything around it. So we'll see. This one works pretty good. This microphone here is a little bit better. It's a little bit Betty. A little bit Betty. This microphone is a little bit better for voices than the other one I had. The other one was fancy. It had settings and stuff that I didn't understand. And it did a good job, but it just started goofing up on me. It started breaking up where it would just drop sounds every once in a while. And I just couldn't. And it would go, take the normal pitch of my voice, and then all of a sudden my voice would get very low, where I couldn't hardly hear what I was saying. And then it would come right back up to normal sound again. And I couldn't figure out why it was doing that. It was just irritating. And when it started doing it more often is when I decided, well, I'll just spend, $300-400 and get another microphone. And so I did. But this is a nice microphone. I have options on this one. I can run this one USB, or I can run it from a mixer. So if I wanted to get real professional, I could buy myself a little amplifier and run a mixer on it. I'm not that complicated. I just want you to be able to hear me and understand me. Now, the understanding might be a little bit more complicated just because it's me, but at least I wanted you to at least be able to hear me. Oh, there's Camia Municipal. Where are we? Let's see. All right, so I think we might be in Idaho pretty quick. Or I mean in Montana pretty quick. Let's see, we're about halfway through Idaho at this point. And remember, Idaho goes up into a point if you look at a map. And we're down not quite halfway, or maybe halfway through. No, we're not. We're about a third of the way down from the Canadian border into Idaho. So we got a little bit of ways, not too far, till we get to Montana. There's a natural forest ahead of us and south, the Nez Perce Clearwater National Forest. And it looks like there's a forest to the north of us and a forest to the south of us. Yeah, we just, north of us is Orofino. I've heard of Orofino, Idaho. There's a place just in front of us called the Last Resort. What? I'm getting worried. What does that mean? Last chance for alcohol. Or, no, that's not how they say that. Last call for alcohol. That's what they say. There's a plane called, I don't know what it's called. TBM-9. I'm going to have to look that one up. But it's at 30,000 feet, so it must be a larger plane. There's another one behind us that's at 35,000 feet. Oh, wow. I'm going to have to look that up. I don't know what a TBM-9 is. Huh. Learn something new almost every day. You learn something new every day. I learn something new every other day. Mainly because I always take a day in between learning and absolutely don't do anything. Just let my mind float around. Well, we got some forest below us, don't we? Look at all those green trees. Makes you want to go down and chop them down, get the money for them, and put a field of wheat in. I mentioned earlier that I logged into Farm Sim 22 last night. I had somebody sent me a message and asked me if I was not playing Farm Sim anymore. In actuality, I stopped playing Farm Sim about a year ago, and I still would live stream it. But the live streams are only 2 hours. I only do a 2-hour live stream, and I only did it twice a week. So, and I didn't consider it playing the game. all I was doing was just driving around live streaming the game. If there was a crop to do, I would do the crop. If I needed to haul it to the store and sell it, I did that. I wasn't really playing the game. In other words, why do you play games? Because you want to be entertained. I stopped playing it because I was burned out. I've been playing Farm Sim since 2013, and because I was playing it on my YouTube page, I was playing quite a bit of it, and I was just getting burned out. So I stopped playing it for entertainment. I kept playing it for live streaming for you guys or anybody else that wants to watch it. And so somebody said to me, are you going to play Farmer's Dynasty again? And I said, well, I could, because I stopped playing it before the game was finished. Now that the game is finished, I could play it because there's new stuff in it. So I decided, okay, I'll live stream Farmer's Dynasty instead of Farm Sim, because it's a farming game. I didn't want to farm all the time because I like playing other games. So I started live streaming Farmer's Dynasty. Well, evidently people are missing Farm Sim and wanted to know if I was going to ever play again. Well, anyway, I started the game up. Long story longer, I started the game up and I couldn't remember how to play. I couldn't remember how to do the menus. I couldn't remember how to buy a new tractor. Oh my God. It was terrible. Anyway, I might have to play it, I guess, just to get back in the swing of it. I bought a new game last night. I don't know if I'm going to play it or not. I actually bought it for Addie because Addie likes to play The Sims. But The Sims that she likes to play is building houses and creating new characters. So I found a new game that's called Hotel Renovator. And what you do is your grandpa gives you, does this sound familiar? Or didn't grandpa give us a farm in Farmer's Dynasty? Well, anyway, your grandpa gives you a motel or a hotel, and I'm telling you, it's trashed. It's completely foul. It's so trashed, so bad. It looks like they had about 20 rock concert in it, and people just destroyed the rooms. So your job is to clean up a room, refurbish it, new wallpaper, new paint, new floors, new furniture, new fixtures. You demolish it completely to the brick, and then you start building it over. And there are themes, like maybe modern luxury, or one guy comes in and he's a hunter, and he's here for a few days or a week or so, and he wants to know if you can put a tent in his room. Why? I don't know. But so you do the best job you can do on refurbishing the room. The better job that you do, the more money you can rent it for. Like the average is about $200 a day. And so then, so you fix one room up and you've got some income coming in, $200 a day anyway, and that gives you a little bit more money to fix another room up. I don't know. It looked like people were having fun with it. I might have to try it myself, but like I said, I kind of got it for Addie because it's kind of the same thing she does with The Sims. I better climb a little bit here. I'm down to 6,000 feet. Let me kick her up. I'll kick it up to 8. Whoops, not 81, 8. Although 81 would have been fine. Let's kick it up quickly here. Wow. I guess I'm okay, but I got over that hill. Might have to go up a little bit more. We'll see. I'm only at 6,500. I'll get up to 8. I should be okay at 8. It's 8 o'clock somewhere. I tell you what. We're into some rugged country here. Are we out of Idaho yet? What's where the hell's my plane? Okay, there's a plane just to the south of us, but it's flying at 32,000 feet. It's another one of those TBM9s. I have to look that up. Hey, there's a place to the north of us called Cayuse Creek. Sounds pretty cowboyish. I don't know where the heck we're at. We're getting closer to Montana. Got a few miles left to go. Yeah, we got a few miles left to go here. Alright, let me check the barometer again and see how we're doing. We're at 8,000. Oh, wow. The barometer changed and it just dropped me 50 feet. I gotta watch that barometer once I get closer to my destination. It's not so imperative with this little plane, but if I was in an airliner, it'd make a difference. The little plane I can maneuver quite fast. The jumbo jets, you don't move it as fast. Don't maneuver that fast. The jumbo jets are kind of fun to fly because they just feel so heavy, and they just kind of glide in a way. Where the little planes, you can are quite maneuverable, most of them. I'm glad the weather's holding. I didn't know the weather was this good. I kind of figured I'd run into a lot of clouds. Stormy weather, rain, snow, that kind of thing. And we're not there yet. I might. Days early. Well, actually, it's not. I don't know what time it is. Let's see. What time is it? I left about 12:30 and it's 3:30. So is that right? That can't be right. Can it? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I've been flying for over 2 hours. I don't know how many people watch these all the way through. Doesn't matter. I mean, Fish Lake, United States Forest Service. That sounds fishy. Now, because of the nature of the game, flight sim, you don't fly someplace instantly. So it does take you a couple hours to get from point A to point B. That's just the nature of the game. So if people watch it, they watch it. If they don't, they don't. I don't know what to say. It's awful fun doing it to me. I'm having a lot of fun flying. It's exciting. Yes, indeedy do. I hope we get out of this mountains pretty soon. I want to see some country. Well, we're seeing country, but I mean, I want to see some civilization, some land improvement. Some girls in bikinis down below soaking in the sun, something like that. There's some things I saw a new plane yesterday that you can add your passengers in, so when you turn around, there are people sitting behind you. And I thought about that. I don't know. Do I like that or do I not like that? I think I might like that if I'm hauling people. Like right now, I'm just on a pleasure trip, so. But let's say I wasn't doing this by myself. Let's say I was doing this with my family. It would be kind of nice. The interesting thing about the plane I was looking at, I think it was, what the hell kind of plane was it? I can't remember. But if you add passengers, you're adding weight. And I didn't add any passengers on this because I didn't want the weight. There is me and a co-pilot, and I think it gives us a couple 100 pounds for each of us. I think it's about 170, I can't remember. About 170 pounds for each of us. But this one, if you chose a child, it was only about 80, 90 pounds. If you chose an adult, it was like 160 to 170 pounds of weight that it added. Oh man, mountains and more mountains and mountains and more mountains. I didn't realize this was so mountainous. I think Idaho, there are a lot of places in Idaho that are ugly. They used to mine quite a bit in Idaho, and there's a lot of places where it's just been mined out, and they just tore the land up, and it's just ugly. And then there's places that are most gorgeous places you've ever been. Coeur d'Alene. If you've ever been to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, it is so pretty there. Very beautiful country area. I applied for a job in Spokane. Well, it was up out of Spokane. There's a little town above Spokane. I'm trying to think the name of it. I've forgotten it already. Anyway, they were looking for a loan officer, and I applied there, but I didn't get the job. And that's okay. But we were looking at places to live up there, and there were some beautiful places to live. It's very nice country. You could buy a plot of land with a beautiful home, and it had pine trees on it, and it was like you were living out in the country, and you were just outside of town. It was great. And it was close to Coeur d'Alene. It was right across the border. Obviously, it was in Washington State, because the bank that I worked at was a Washington State bank. It was a national bank, but it was Washington State. And I think the only reason it was a national bank is because it used to be National Bank of Commerce. And then Rainier Bank bought it. And then later, Rainier Bank, after I left the bank, Rainier sold out to People's Bank. And then People's was bought out by Bank of America. I'm kind of glad I quit. I'd never want to work for Bank of America. All right. right, where are we at here? We're getting close to the border. We just went over Fish Lake. The next little airport that I can see is Stevens View, and I think that's in Montana. So hopefully we'll be getting out of these hills. Oh shoot! Well, I guess I'm okay. Yeah, I'll be fine. I might have to climb for that next hill, but I'm okay on this one. We're getting a little bit low into the forest there. I think I'm going to climb a little bit, be on the safe side. I'm only at 8,000. Let's go up to... I'm going to go up to 12 just to be safe. Isn't that what I did the last time? Went up to 12? I think so. I think so. What's our RPMs? I'm going to check those RPMs. Oh, we're fine. There are some planes that you can purchase that aren't the stock ones in the game. And some of the ones even in the game. Some of them, you can't harm the engines. It doesn't matter what RPMs you're going, you're not going to harm it. Others, you can really damage the engine if you're overdoing the RPMs. I think I'd have been okay. I'm at 9,000 now. I think I'd have been okay. But I just feel more comfortable at 12,000. Since I'm just cruising and laid back, enjoying the scenery, and you're looking and saying, what scenery? Well, you gotta love mountains, I guess. I grew up in mountain areas, so, I mean, not really, I lived in a valley, but we're surrounded by hills and mountains. And a lot of our recreating was up in the mountains, camping and fishing and hunting and that kind of thing. You can't find Bigfoot if you're not up in a mountain. Is spring here yet? I know when they consider summer, what is it, 21st of June, the summer solstice? Not quite sure when you consider it spring. Generally, I guess it's when leaves start growing on the trees and blossoms, trees are blossoming, if they have blossoms on them. I'm thinking of like cherry trees. We got a cherry tree outside the house. We got a cherry tree in the backyard. And it has the most beautiful blossoms when spring hits. It needs to be trimmed up though. It's getting awful big. I know I have to trim the one by the house because our insurance company sent a drone over our property and took pictures and then sent us a letter saying that we have a tree that's too close to the roof. It's overgrown the side of the house, and they don't want a windstorm. That they're telling me that if I don't trim this tree up off the roof, you know, that goes beyond the roof. It's just a tree beside the house. It got big enough that it went higher than the roof, and the limbs are kind of over the roof a little bit. They're telling me that if I don't trim it down within a certain amount of time, that they're not going to insure my house if that tree harms it. Okay, fine, I can't have that. So now I've got a problem. And the problem is I'm afraid to death of heights. So any trimming that's going to be done isn't going to be done by me. So I'm going to have to either hire it out find somebody that's willing to do it for free. I have some people. If you remember, I mentioned in a live stream that I gave my fifth wheel away to my nephew because he didn't have a place to live. And he's so happy. If he didn't love me before, he loves me now. And he's so happy that he said he would come down in his off time and do some work around the house. Well, guess what? I got a tree needs to be trimmed. So hopefully he'll be here before the deadline that the insurance company gave me. If not, I'll have to hire somebody to do it. That's probably going to cost me an arm and a leg. That same arm and a leg that I would have lost if I'd have fell off the roof. Hody, hody, ho, ho, hody, ho. I'm getting hungry. It's dinner time. Are we there yet? Maybe I bit off a little bit more than I can chew today. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. How did he fight the law? Why would you fight the law? That doesn't make no sense. You can fight your neighbor and be in trouble with the law. Wow, this is getting kind of rugged up here. You still got some snow. I'm getting cold. Must be the window. Wow, there's a little bit of snow left on the ground. I'm telling you now, there's a lake down below us there. Wonder if it's frozen over. Pretty sure that's what that is there. And there's a little one there too. That looks like a crater a little bit, doesn't it? Wow, there's little buckets of water everywhere up here. So I know what I'm having for dinner. Carol made a lasagna last night. We got leftovers. Ain't nothing better than leftovers. Some leftovers are better than others, like a pot of chili or a pot of stew. Chili and stew, to me, get better every day. Oh boy, we're coming up in the valley. I think we just passed the border of Montana. I believe we're in Montana now, but I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, this map is a flight map. It's not really a terrain map of any kind. All right, we'll be able to come down here in a minute. Be able to see the countryside a little better. Okay, let's drop it down a little bit. What are we at? 12,000. Let's drop it down to... Drop it down to 8. I think I can go that low. Find out here in a minute, though, won't we? Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We could probably come down farther. Where are we at? Briar Patch. Okay, so we got an airport called Briar Patch. Why would you want to land in a briar patch? That would be prickly, wouldn't it? What kind of town is this? Stevensville. Stevensville says we're down to... Are we down to 8? No, we're still at 10,000 feet. We're still coming down. Stevensville. Who is Stevens? And why did he call the airstrip the Briar Patch? I can't talk. The Briar Patch. I still can't talk. The Briar Patch. All right, I give up. What do we got here? We got Rosemont. We got a little town called Stevensville. Isn't it cute? And then we've got a Stevensville airport. So what's the Briar Patch? I seriously was dinking around saying that, and now I can't say it right. Oh, it's somebody's farm. They farm a briar patch. Where do you sell briars? Alrighty, let's see. We're still coming down. We're 8,900, and then we're gonna have to come back up again. This is a nice little valley, though. Jeez, I mean, it carries on that way. Kind of a snowy little area. Okay. Man, we've seen some rugged country today. Am I going to have to go back up again? Probably. Check our barometer, see if that's changed. No, barometer's the same, but I'm going to have to come back up again. Darn it. I'm not even down to 8,000 yet. I got to come back up. All right. Got to do it. I'm not going to 12 though. Let's go to 10. Let's go to 10. Let's check our fuel while we're up here. Well, we used to have a tank, so I don't think I'll have to land before we get there. I think we've got enough fuel to get there okay. And where are we at? Oh, there's a place southeast of here called Riddick, or an airport. And we got a little ways to go. Let's see, we need to go through Willow, Drummond, Gold Creek, Wood Strip, something Duncan, and then we'll be at the airport in Helena. Not too bad. We're getting there. It is what it is. It takes us that amount of time to get there. It takes us that amount of time to get there. Beautiful country. Let's see, we've done Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Montana. 4 states. The United States is a very large area. Very large. I don't know what kind of time we'd be looking at driving time. Obviously, you're not going to drive through these mountains. You'd have to find a road, and the road doesn't always go in a straight line. I might have to go to bed early tonight. We lose an hour's sleep in the United States tonight. They'll take an hour away from us, so I might go to bed at 10 o'clock. Try to make up for that. I got up pretty early this morning. Woke up at 3:20. I did not get up at that time, but I was up at 5:30. Made myself a hot cup of tea. Dinked around with the PC a little bit. Can't remember what I was doing because I was half asleep. Well. What do you think? Do I have to go up? Am I going to have to go up? I might make it. Maybe. I might make it. Worst case scenario, if I have to come up and I wait too long, I can take the stick myself and climb pretty quickly. That's a good thing about these small planes. You can take over pretty easily, pretty quickly. We're going to do just fine at 10,000 feet. Didn't have to come up at all. But we're not out of the woods yet. As a matter of fact, we've been flying over mountains almost the whole way. beautiful, beautiful day, though. I mean, we've had nothing but beautiful clouds. We had a couple of rain clouds, but it didn't affect us any. But what a beautiful day. It's mostly sunny weather. Look at that. Couldn't ask for a better flight day. I thought we were going to be running into a lot of snow, if not a little rain. Or a little rain, if not a little snow. Probably the better way to say it. There's Willow. Hi, Willow. Poor Willow. They messed up the Willow show so bad it wasn't even worth watching. We're southeast of Missoula. So Missoula's back over that way. I flew into Missoula one time. Worst experience I think I've had in the airport. It was raining. We had to walk across the tarmac. The tarmac was being repaired, and the plane had to park almost out on the runway. They had to bring a stairway out. We got off, and they had these big wooden planks all the way back to the terminal that we had to balance on and walk to keep from falling in mud holes, deep mud holes. It was raining. It was getting dark. I called a taxi to pick me up and take me to my hotel. And like I say, it was getting dark. The guy shows up and he's in a hurry. He comes ripping out of the taxi. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Get in. Give me your luggage. And I said, okay, here it is. And I jumped in the car. He's madly taking my luggage and throwing it on the roof and tying it down with a rope. He jumps in the taxi and takes off. We didn't get but a couple blocks when he starts cussing. And I said, what's the matter? He says, I've got a flat. And I said, okay, do you have a spare? And he says, yeah, I do, but it ain't gonna do me no good. I said, why? He says, because I can't get in the trunk. The trunk lid won't open. And I said, oh, great. And he said, even if I could, I can't drive anymore anyway. And I said, why? And he says, it's getting dark and the headlights don't work. And I said, oh my God, well, what am I gonna do? And he says, don't worry, I'm gonna call another cab. So he called another cab, and they came and got me and took me to the motel. It was terrible. It was awful. It was kind of funny, but it was awful at the same time. All right, we're going to come down. All right, coming down. Whoa, that looks cold, doesn't it? There's Drummond. Let me check the barometer again. Okay, the barometer changed, but just a little bit. I'm going to come down here. We're getting close to our airport. Uh-oh. Going too fast. Let me bring it down. I must have dove too fast. There wasn't any need to come down that fast. But, oh well. I'll just bring the throttle down. Let's see. I'm going to have to veer off to the left a little bit and then come back to the right, and I think that should line me up with the runway. We're not there yet, but we're getting pretty close. We should have a little strip to the right of us here. That might be that over there. Our airport should be right in front of us. We got something over there and something over there. And I'm down to, what, 6,000? Yeah. I'm down to 6,000 feet. And I'm not quite sure. Obviously, I haven't flown into Helena in the sim yet, so I don't know what I'm looking at terrain-wise. I might have to come up a little bit. Isn't this exciting? I keep wanting to look over and see a dog sled come racing across. Let's take a look in here. I'll sit up in the seat a little bit. Okay, I'm getting a little slow on speed. I better kick it up a little bit. I don't want to stall. Give it a little bit of throttle here. There's a little turbulence up here. Not too bad. I would expect it a little bit. All right, I'm gonna turn off the AP. And take over the flight. I'm gonna head out this way just a little bit. Just a hair. We still got a little ways. That's a windy road underneath us there. Look at that. This is Montana's got some rugged country, but they've also got a lot of flat land. Montana is big sky country, and I'm pretty sure what they mean by that is you can see a lot of sky because it's flat. A lot of it is flat. The farmland at least is. And so you can see for miles generally. I mean, we got some hills here, obviously. All right, we're doing about 138 knots. Airport should be to the right of us a little bit. And I'm slowly climbing, so I better start coming down a little. All right, we'll start coming around here now. See if I can see the runway. And line up with it. I don't know where it's at. I can't see it. We still got a little bit of a road to hoe here. We're not there yet. And I may be way off. It looks different from up above. I keep thinking that, we're close. You can't really look at the map. The map isn't, the best thing to be looking at. It looks different. And there's times where I keep thinking that we should be there, but we're not. And then when we get there, it's like, wow, I don't have enough time to line up. I wish I'd have seen it before. But we'll see. We'll get there. What's that over to the right? Deer Lodge, City County. Deer Lodge, huh? It's got to be one of those three in front of us, I think. Those three little dotty things. It's got to be one of them. And it looks like I'm going to have to climb a hill to get there. Oh well, we got a little plane. We can do a flyby and still be perfectly fine. Must be over the top of these hills here. On top of the hills and into the valley. In the valley of the jolly ho ho ho. Green giant. Anybody remember that? Green giant. Looked like a green bean. Giant green bean. You look like a big pickle. Doing about 100 nautical miles an hour, which is okay. I don't want to stall. Check the barometer again. Yeah, it didn't change, so we're okay. If it did change, I didn't see it. All right. That might be the runway in front of us. If it is, I need to get over a little bit more. But I can't tell from here. What's this called? St. Helens? No. Helena Airport. Helena Municipal? Municipal. I don't know. It don't matter. One thing about this plane, you don't have to worry about putting the landing gear down. It's down all the time. Well, I don't know, because usually there's a notice in it. Is it up on that hill? Or do we have to go over another hill? I mean, I'm always confused because it always looks like I'm closer than I am. If I'd have left it in cruise control, I always say that. I'm used to a car. If I left it in autopilot, I probably would have been just fine. Oh my God, I hope it's not on that hill. It's supposed to be right in front of us, so I'm guessing it's that one right there. kick it in the butt a little bit. God, I can't believe we're 8,000 feet. All right, the barometer did change that time. Just a little bit, just a higher. There's another mark. Which one's mine? Now see? What do we got to the left of us here? Avon. Ding dong. Avon calling. Okay, what's that one over there? Wood strip. You gotta land on a wood strip. No! I can't believe my trailer's gone. I keep walking outside at night and coming in saying, Carol, the trailer's gone. Yeah, dummy. You gave it away. Yeah, that's not the only trailer I gave away. We had a trailer that Carol and I had when we were first married, and it was a nice trailer. It was not too big, not too small. I think it was about 27 foot, 28, something like that. And I had a Chevy pickup with a 440. Dual barrel, dual carburetor. It was a hot rod. Pulled that thing. Didn't matter whether it was uphill, downhill. You set the cruise control at 60. Uphill, 60. Downhill, 60. It was a gas hog though. But we got to the point where we weren't using the trailer, and we had to move. I took a new position, and we had to move into the city. Now, it wasn't much of a city. It was a small town. Remember, I was a commercial loan officer. I specialized in ag loans. So most of the places where I got transferred was farm towns. And they weren't always very big. Mostly maybe 1,000, 2,000 people. Maybe a little bit more. Most of the farmers lived out of town. So anyway, I didn't have any place to put the trailer. And so I think I gave it to a relative. Did I give it to my dad? Which is fine. We used it. We got our money out of it. And I couldn't afford to store it for no reason. So yeah, there were places you could store it, but my God, to store a trailer over the winter, it's like renting a house. I told Carol, I said, there's trailers out there everywhere. If we need another trailer, we'll find one. And we did. And we got the use out of it. Now that trailer was a tongue, I don't know, what do they call those? You pulled it, I could pull it with a truck from the bumper hitch or whatever, or a car. We did pull it with a car one year when my truck was kind of out of commission. I had it in the shop. We wanted to take off for the weekend. I did pull it with a car. God, what was that car? Big Bonneville or something like that. Okay, I think that's our airport in front of us there. I'm trying to 10 Mile. Oh wow, I'm up in 9,000 feet. Helena Regional. Yeah, that's our airport. I want to come at it from this left side because the runway kind of runs to the right a little bit from our perspective. So I want to be able to come from the left a little bit and line up on it. So I'm going to start coming down a little. God, I didn't think it'd be snowy here. I mean, it still is winter, isn't it? See what I mean, though? I thought we were close because I was looking at the map. We weren't. It was still in this valley over here. Hit the barometer again. It changed again. It's not changing much, a degree. Okay, now you can see the runway. It's slanting off to the right from me, so that's why I wanted to come in a little bit to the left and then line up to it. Fort Harrison Air Force? Really? I tried to put the landing gear down, but it won't go down. Landing gear. It's already down. All right. I'm speeding. I got to come down a little bit on the throttle and lower the nose a little bit. We're at 8,000 feet. I don't want to be at 8,000 feet. All right, we're almost to lining up. Won't matter. There's probably a little wind blowing, and I'm gonna be buffeted around a little bit anyway. But we'll straighten out here and fly over the Air Force Base, and hopefully they don't try to shoot us down. Okay, 6,000 feet. Helena Regional. You know what, the strips that I like, the air strips that I like are the real wide ones. I have a hard time. It's my worst time that I have is lining up. See, now I'm off to the left a little bit from here. Of course, I've got a ways to go. I can fix it. But I have a hard time lining up with the airstrips. I just do. Okay. I usually don't have the best landings, but I haven't actually crashed a plane yet. I don't think. That's not true. I think I did one time. I crashed one of my first trips in an airliner. I overshot the runway and went into a lake. That was bad. Yeah, that wasn't good at all. All right, we're getting close. It says we're 4,000 feet, but that's relevant because, it's relative. See, I just changed the barometer and it changed my altitude. So, let me, 104. Don't want to come down too fast. I tend to come down too soon. And then I have to kind of keep it from dropping before it gets to the runway. So I'm going to try to stick up a little bit. If the runway's long enough, I got plenty of room. This plane lands pretty nicely. It'll land on a short strip, so we'll just take our time. And I might drop the flap here in a minute. I don't think I really need to because I'm down to 90. I should be down to 70 by the time I get there. So I shouldn't have to drop the flap. Am I running into wind down here or what? Jeez. Having a hard time keeping it straight. I'm gonna drop a flap here, and that'll pull my nose up a little bit. But we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Now see those solid dots in front of me? Those are what I'm supposed to land on. The two bigger ones. That's what I'm supposed to hit right there. Pull it up just a hair and let it drop. There we are. We're down. Okay, looks like we got the runway to the right. Now, see, aren't I getting much better? I got lucky. The weather's good. I don't think the wind is very bad up here. All right, let's head in. That was a nice flight. Beautiful country. What the hell's that? A big dump truck. Welcome to Helena, Montana. Big sky country. Put the flap back up. Find ourselves a place to park. Let's see. Let me take a peek here at what we're looking at airport-wise. I don't see any planes. We are at the airport, right? Well, the tower's over here, so I'm going to go over here. Whoa, slow it down, buddy. I'm not in that big a hurry. I thought I'd see some other planes up here, but I don't. I'm all alone in Helena, Montana. Goodness gracious. All right, we've got some activity. There's a plane. There's some fuel pump? No, what is that? All right, so this is a place I can park. So we'll pull in here. I'll just pull it beside this other plane up here. That's a pretty little plane. Big prop. Look at the prop on that sucker. All righty, we're going to park it right here, throw some brakes on. Okay. And let's jump down here. Well, first of all, let's kick some lights off. Did we have, what happened? How'd the lights get turned off? I swear I turned those lights on. I've been flying without lights. No, that can't be right. All right, so, well, let's, I'll tell you the easy way. Let's pop up here, and we'll turn the fuel off. That's one way to turn the thing off. And then go down here and kick battery off. Let's kick the aeronautics off.
You need to set parking brakes to request ground services.
I don't need ground services. I'm telling you right now. Don't need those ground services. All right, that's it. Hey, we're down. We're here. Helena, Montana. I hope you had fun. I had a good trip. It's a good flight. I'm surprised. That's a sleek looking thing, isn't it? It looks kind of cramped in a cockpit, though. Uh-oh. What's happening here? Why is my propeller going nuts? I cut the gas off. Oh, did I hit the start button? Oh no. Did I? Did I hit the start button? I did. Bad me. Bad me. How's it do that without fuel, though? Anyway, hope you had fun. Hope to see you next leg. Now, the next leg, I don't know the destination. I'm going to try to get to Chicago or thereabouts. We'll see. I have to figure out the miles. Like I said, this travels about 960 some miles on a fuel tank. So anyway, again, I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ta for now.